Welcome back to the van. Today we talk about everything you need to know to have a solar panel system in your van. How to estimate your electrical consumption, how to choose your solar panels, how to choose your batteries, and what are the differences between MPPT and PWM. Let's start with an overview of what is a solar panel system in a van. First, we have one or multiple solar panels laying on top of the van, enjoying the sun like a baby boomer in Acapulco, and create electricity from that sun. This electricity will be managed by a little controller and sent to the battery, waiting wisely to be used by all our electronic devices. This is the minimum setup to have solar energy in your van. Then you can spice it up with a converter to be able to plug your laptop on the 230 volt or 110 volt, depending what country you are, or other devices that will charge your battery while you're driving. But I will talk about them a little bit later. First thing first, before choosing any equipment, we need to estimate the electrical consumption you will have in your van even before you finish to build it. Of course, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's going to be accurate enough to be able to choose the right equipment. When we talk about the amount of electricity we use in a day, we talk about watt-hour. And to find this number, we're going to do a little bit of math. Don't freak out, it's going to be really simple math. You just need to multiply the electrical consumption of your device, expressed in watt, by the number of hours you think you're going to use these devices in a day. Watt multiplied by hour equal watt-hour. That much simple. Example. This is my MacBook charger. I can see on it that its electrical consumption is about 87 watt. You can see it here. I don't know if you... 87 watt. I think that in a normal day I charge my laptop for 2 hours. So 87 watt by 2 hours equal 174 watt-hour. Yeah, I'm good with math. And you need to do that for every electronical devices you will use in your van. And because I love you folks, I have made an Excel sheet just for you that will calculate everything for you. You will find a link in the description box below, or you can also visit my website vagabondvan.com. You can download all my documents for free, but if you want to offer me a cup of coffee via my Patreon page, it will make me super happy. When you have the total of all your electronic devices, you have your daily consumption. Mine was around 1314 watt-hour. I have a lot of electronic devices. You can have lower than that, but you also definitely can have bigger than that. Now we are ready to pick up some equipment, so let's start with the battery. Basically, a battery is a tank full of electrical energy that you can use and refill. First thing we need to choose is the size of this tank. And that's easy because we have calculated our daily consumption. The capacity of a battery is expressed in amp-hour. To know how much is it in watt, you just take the amp hours that you multiply by the voltage of your system. In most of the cases, 12 volts. You can find some vans that will have a 24 volt system, but that's rare. In a normal situation, you're gonna have 12 volt. A battery of 165 amp hour on a 12 volt system will contain 1980 watts. In another saying, if you have a 165 amp hour battery and you plug your 87 watt laptop charger, it will take around 22 hours to empty it. Now there is differences between batteries besides their tank capacity, depending of the type of the battery. And there is a lot of different batteries on the market. But let me introduce you the 3 common ones for a solar system. The AGM battery, the gel battery, and lithium battery. AGM, they're a really cheap battery, but they have a really short life. I don't recommend them because I don't think it's worth the ecological impact they have just to save a few bucks. They have a really low amount of charge cycle and they will even die quicker if you get them into deep discharge. For a capacity of 165 amp hour, it will cost around 300 euros. Gel batteries are better quality. They will have around 1800 cycles at 70% of discharge. You can use them for 5 or 6 years if you take care of them. The downside is that they are pretty huge and heavy, but they are affordable. For a capacity of 165 amp hour, it will cost around 440 euros. Then come the lithium batteries. Over 2500 of cycles at 80% of discharge. They can handle deep discharge. They charge faster. They are small. They are the kings of the batteries. Who wrote that? I don't really like it. Because it sounds a little bit patriarchal, no? They are the queens of the batteries. But it comes with a cost. For a capacity of 165 amp hour, it will cost around 1700 euros. Yep, almost 4 times the price of a gel battery for the same capacity. If you can afford it, I definitely recommend you to get one. If you take care of it, you can use it for 10 to 15 years. Even after your van life, you can use it in your home if you want. Or another van project, tiny house, a boat. It is a good investment. I personally lost my job during the COVID pandemic. I couldn't afford one. So I got a twin system using 2 gel battery of 165 amp hour that I always keep above 40% of charge for a total of 198 amp hour. So I can fully enjoy the capacity of 2397 watt and keep my batteries healthy from deep discharge using a smart battery protect that I will tell you more later. You have 2 types of solar panels, the monocrystalline and the polycrystalline. Monocrystalline are more efficient on a limited space. To generate a capacity of 200 watt, the monocrystalline will need less space than the polycrystalline. And because we have a limited space on our roof, we will go for the monocrystalline. If you have a house or a land and space don't matter to you, you can go for polycrystalline. They are also a good option and they are cheaper. But if you live in a van, in a boat or a tiny house, you don't have the luxe to not care about the space. So monocrystalline is our friend. The capacity of a panel is expressed in watt or watt peak. It basically means how much power your panel can deliver to your batteries per hour in perfect condition. Example, a 355 watt LG panel will provide to your battery 350 watt every hour. It sounds great, but in reality this will almost never happen. The efficiency of a solar panel depends on so many factors. You will lose efficiency every time the sun don't have the perfect angle with your panels, so basically 80% of the time. Every time there is a cloud going in front of the sun, that also happens pretty often. If your panel is dirty or if it's getting too hot, you're losing efficiency. Because yes, solar panels don't handle hot temperatures. And of course, your capacity will be limited also by the size of your roof. I got 2 panels, a big one of 355 watts and a smaller one of 150 watts. For a total capacity of 505 watt. It is the max I could get because of my roof windows. Something you need to... Let's talk about the controller now. We have 2 different types of controller, the PWM and the MPPT. The PWM works well for a system up to 150 watt. It is cheap, it does the job, but for a bigger system we will go for MPPT. Because it can handle a system up to 1000 watt. But also because the MPPT is smart. It has a little computer inside that will manage smartly the distribution of the power to the batteries. This little difference will increase your efficiency up to 30%. It also means that the charging process will be more gentle on your batteries and will increase their lifetime. To choose the right MPPT, it's pretty easy. You look at the capacity of it and it has to be bigger than the capacity of your solar panel. Important note, you cannot match different panels on the same MPPT. Because I got 2 different panels, I got also 2 different MPPT. For my bigger panel of 255 watt, I got the MPPT 130 because it can handle until 440 watt. And for my smaller panel of 150 watt, I got the MPPT 7515. But if you have 2 identical panels, you can put them into the same MPPT. You just have to respect the total capacity of the panels. let's just have a quick note on cables, because a lot of people think it's not important. Cables are cables. But no. You can literally set your van on fire by using the wrong size of cables. A too small cable will heat too much and melt, and except if your van is made out of concrete, a melting cable will set your van on fire. To be safe, I use solar quality 8mm cables everywhere. If you have a smaller system than mine, you can probably use a 6mm cables, but 8mm will be the safe option in most of the cases. This is the minimum you need to have solar energy in your van. Then you can spice it up, using a charger to be able to plug on camping sites, or using a converter to be able to have 230 volt or 110 volt depending where you're on the planet. You can use also a smart battery protect that will prevent your batteries to go into deep discharge, or using the Orion smart charger to be able to charge your batteries while you're driving your van along the beautiful coast of California or somewhere else. I'm using it here in Sweden and it's working well. It's working. I will talk about all of them in my next video. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe to the channel. If this video has been useful for you, you can help me by sharing the video, drop a comment and smash that little blue thumb. In the meantime, take care, stay healthy, and I will see you on the road. Bye.